You should be able to see that flashcard right now. Yeah, so this is just my notes from what the background of the lesson was. I decided to put that up front, so gives us a little framework. That lesson 2 talks about war's great unknown and the irreducible complexity and chaos of that environment, and what that does to the way we think about planning and acting. Usually some plan is better than no plan until that plan becomes so full of planning that it becomes more important than the world. And we have a saying for that in the service. Are you fighting the enemy or are you fighting your plan? Hey, who are you going to believe, your plan or your lion eyes? So it is common for us to have invested so much in a plan that we try to stay with it even after it really no longer applies and the enemy's doing one thing and we're still trying to follow through with the thing that we planned and rehearsed and invested in. So there's a limit to how useful plans can be, and that's usually a function of how complex and chaotic the world is. So finding that right trade-off between science and art is normal. We would normally think of, just thought of something I wanted to draw. What really helps is not to see this really as science versus art, but also to add a third dimension in there called craft. So science and art and craftsmanship. Craftsmanship is the neglected part, which is like the doing routine things routinely to efficiently translate your strategy into action. So instead of just trying to find that happy trade-off, what you really want to do is make sure that your science is informed by like the engineer's craft, and that your artful inspiration can be translated into product that sells. So in many ways, if you look at craftsmanship as the bottom line at the end of the day, the principles of being a good craftsman, caring for your tools, setting up well, cleaning up, respecting your raw material, being orderly and process oriented, learning from it, iterating, allows you to offload some of the tension that comes between, should I be rules based or discretionary based? Well, I don't know, but whatever it is, there's going to be some judgment that a craftsman makes in the moment to accommodate the little surprises of the world while still respecting the larger game plan. The guy in basketball and he's dribbling, should I go to the left or to the right? Well, I have a plan. The boss told me we want to take the ball down low and work it inside, so I'm trying to do that. But when it comes down to it, how am I going to specifically do that? You can't have an infinite number of rules in a live dynamic game. You can't keep all that in your head. So you have to, at some point, trust the craftsman's hands and feet to find the right way, the nuance. And that's where the professionalism of our work comes from. The law of large numbers, getting lots of repetitions. That professional craftsmanship allows you to account for craftsmanship, science, and art. That really comes from the work of Henry Mintzberg. He's a Canadian management scholar who spends a lot of time talking about saying, hey, people that look at the difference between leadership versus management, should the boss be a leader or should he be a manager? As if, hey, it's not either or, it's both. You can't be effective without having both of them. And he says, that's where the craftsmanship comes from. So this is known as the Mintzberg triangle. And I found that to be really, really helpful. So yeah, these were the things that stuck with me when I went through the Fletcher's part of the lesson. And I remembered the Special Air Service from Britain. Their motto is "Who dares wins," and that connects to the discussion we had this morning about the gap in the pre-work. And then I'll come to my true story when it comes time to. So I just wanted to share that with you, and to set the stage for our discussions and our true stories, then our discussions.